Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Just an Opinion. Today, I'm going to discuss the short-lived TV series Sidekicks. In 1986, fans still had Karate Kid fever, and this show starred real-life Karate Kid Ernie Reyes Jr.
I'm going out for karate.
The show kicked off with the Disney Sunday night movie The Last Electric Night in February of 1986, and then we got 22 episodes of the series from September of the same year through June of 1987 on the ABC network. The premise of the show featured Ernie, the last heir of an ancient secret group of skilled martial artists. His grandfather, Sabo-san, was his mentor and only parental unit, but he was approaching his last days.
Will be the last electric night.
But what about you, Sabo-san?
Someday, perhaps soon, I will become part of the energy as my teacher did before me. And then, as he did for me, I will join my energy with yours.
His dying wish was for neighbor and cop Jake Rizzo to take Ernie in and be his guardian.
You're the kind of guy who gives Caucasians a bad name.
He resists at first, but Ernie makes Jake realize that he needs him.
You had your handcuffs in your refrigerator.
So I like cold handcuffs. Look, did anybody ever tell you how dangerous it is to come into a stranger's house?
My grandfather had a vision.
Yeah, well, your grandfather's cross-eyed. Look, I'm a bachelor. I can't take care of you.
You can't take care of yourself. That's why you need me.
Rizzo often finds himself in situations where he could use a sidekick.
Ernie, come back here!
And if there's trouble afoot, Ernie always seems to be within an arm's reach.
Stop! Let him go!
For characters, let's start with Ernie. Fans were probably already familiar with him and his extraordinary martial arts skills from the films Red Sonja and The Last Dragon. The show did not hold back when it came to pushing the idea that Ernie was skilled enough to fight one or more full-grown adults. Heck, the first scene of the movie features Ernie teaching Don Cheadle a lesson.
You go to Don.
Along with this, Ernie was emphatically good and honest. He could have served as a role model for kids, but might have been a little bit overbearing. If anything, Ernie struggled to just be a kid and admit to having his own faults. And perhaps his biggest grapple in life was to get Rizzo to take time away from his job and spend time with him.
Ernie, I'm glad you called.
I'd like to go to Travis's parents tonight.
Yeah, sure. Have a good time.
In fact, I may not be home tonight, so maybe Travis's folks will invite you to dinner if you play your cards right, you know what I mean?
Rizzo had many struggles of his own. He tried to find a work-life balance, but many times unintentionally brought Ernie very close to danger. But Ernie could hold his own.
Inside the truck.
Good.
Rizzo himself was a bit of a slob in need of a reason to start cleaning up his act.
You said you didn't have time to eat, so I brought them.
That's it. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I am not playing this game anymore. You're under arrest.
For what?
For bothering the policeman. Come on.
Ernie kept him in check most of the time, but there was also Patricia, a social worker who at first was strictly professional with Rizzo. But she inevitably became a love interest, the first season having a will they, won't they dynamic. Even though Saba-san passed away in the first episode, Ernie often asked him for help and he would appear in a dreamlike apparition kind of way.
Even the river cannot move the largest stone, but the river must continue to flow.
Many times he had metaphors to help Ernie deal with problems both in life and with his relationship with Rizzo.
Ernie, you cannot fight the wind. It is a force you must go with and not against. This is true for kites as for life.
Even Rizzo himself sometimes reached out to Saba-san when he needed some guidance. Having watched this show as a 6-year-old obsessed with karate, it was like a superhero television show starring a kid only a few years older than me. But as an adult, the narrative of the series was a bit redundant. Ernie always seemed to find someone in need. You might think that word would get around about the skills of this kid, but the bigger kids still tried to bully him, with some not so good results. Just ask Rudy from the Monster Squad.
Everybody's entitled to one mistake. Just one.
Some of the choreography didn't hold up, but most of the time you saw that Ernie was legit in his craft. He continued this in future movies like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, and The Rundown. The show did not hide the influence it took from The Karate Kid.
Where did you learn how to fight?
Well, my
Ernie, does your father use you in his police work?
No, not really. Are you a black belt? Yes, I am.
Is it true you're going to fight Ralph Macchio at Caesar's Palace?
No,
Hey, Ernie, have you been contacted by any TV producers?
No.
But it had heart. Later episodes really showed the bond that Ernie built with Rizzo.
Ernie, we've got to have faith in the doctor and in Mr. Rizzo. He's a very strong man. Come on, you can stay at my place for a few days, okay?
Thanks, but I have to go home first. I want to get Mr. Rizzo's toothbrush.
Honey, they have toothbrushes here.
He needs his toothbrush and his comb. I don't want him to wake up without his stuff.
Although they come from different backgrounds, they start to bond more as father and son.
Ernie, look, I don't want you to feel that you're at risk, in losing your customs or the special feelings that Saba-san taught you about family,
No, I'm not worried about losing out on anything, Mr. Rizzo. I am with my father, aren't I?
While Ernie was a bit mature for his age, he was a little bit naive with how boys his age acted.
There are to be no girls in here when I'm not here. Do you understand?
Okay.
Great.
But why?
What? Suppose her mother was to call and find out she was here, but I wasn't.
What if she did?
Yeah.
The show featured some up-and-comers including Michael Richards and Giovanni Ribisi as Ernie's buddy. But probably the most famous guest appearance was from WWF wrestler Ricky the Dragon Steamboat as Ernie's distant cousin, who loved American television.
Hey!
Spare me.
The finality of this episode is classic, with Ernie and Ricky forming their own tag team. The series had a consistent run airing on Friday and then eventually Saturday nights.
Saturday, January the 17th would be a very bad night for you to be away from your television.
Bad, 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 bad boy. You make me feel so good.
But after March of '87, it just vanished, the final 2 episodes airing a few months later.
You make a big thing about respecting your elders, right? Isn't Mr. Rizzo one of your elders, too? Doesn't he deserve your respect?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, part of respect is trust. And you just gotta trust him to do his job.
The show was a brutal lesson for me, that not every show lasted for multiple seasons. But I remember searching tirelessly in the weekly TV guide to seeing when Sidekicks would be back on the air again. Sadly, it was a one-season wonder. For decades, this show was just something I remembered, but thankfully most of the episodes can be found on YouTube. I hope that someday we'll get some form of physical media release of this show. Thank you so much for watching. Now, I've discussed short-lived sitcoms. Next time, I'm going to discuss a show that didn't even develop into a series, and the subject will be the pilot episode for the show that never was, Tag Team. I hope you check it out.